Good evening. Welcome to Orange and Black. They might be Giants. Tonight we are going to be talking about the roster positions on the Giants this season. First one is the number 5 spot.
Welcome to Orange and Black. They might be Giants. Tonight we are going to be.
First item of business is the 5th spot in the Giants rotation. The likely candidate to win that position is going to be Matt Cain. Cain has had a lot of injuries the last couple seasons and has had his fair share of struggles the last 2 seasons and lost his spot in the rotation last year to Andrew Suarez and Ty Block. Ty Block would be the second choice. If he thrives in spring training and Cain struggles in spring training, expect him to get the nod as the number 5 starter next season. Option 3 is Andrew Suarez. He has really done well as the poor man's Yosmero Petit last season in the swingman role. He can start, he can go long relief, he can do middle relief. I expect Suarez to fit somewhere in the bullpen next year as the long reliever. Next battle is left field. The options are Jarrett Parker. Jarrett Parker has power, but he strikes out a lot. The downside of the season is that he's out of options this season, so if he does not make the 25-man roster, he is very likely going to be designated for assignment and could be easily claimed off of waivers. Mac Williamson, another one who's got some upside and has possible power. He does have options, though. If he struggles, he could start the season in AAA for seasoning. Third option might be Gorkis Hernandez. He's got a lot of speed. He could be that 5th outfielder guy. He has speed, and he can hit for average. That's what his upside is. Next thing is going to be the infield battles. We have a couple guys in the minors who may not start the season in the majors, but could make noise. Our first guy is going to be Christian Arroyo. He is likely going to start the season in Sacramento. He's going to start the season in Sacramento and is likely going to, and if he can tear it up in Sacramento, he could push the issue a bit. Another one who could start, another third baseman who could start in Sacramento could be, I don't want to butcher his name, give me a second. Could be Hai-Young Wang. He's already hit a home run this season in spring training. But if he can hit for average, he might be one that could, another guy who could force the hot corner issue later on in the season, depending on what he does. And then the incumbent at the hot corner this year is Eduardo Nunez. Can he stave off the Dogs? If he falls back, he cannot fall back to earth this season, or some of these young guns may have the possibility. Another battle position is going to be that last infielder spot. Likely Kelby Tomlinson is going to win it. He can hit for power. His weakness is his defense. Another one who could maybe take it away might be Michael Morse. If Morse can impress in spring training, he could take the spot away from Kelby Tomlinson if Tomlinson still has options. Another one could be Jimmy Rollins. Can he maybe find the fountain of youth in spring training? Or is he just maybe that extra speed guy they have on the roster for the pinch running situations next year. Now we're Brandon Belt. This is a prove it season for Brandon Belt. He's been injury prone the last few years. It's time for him to start putting up good batting averages. He's hot or cold, but it could be time to maybe evaluate the first base position if Belt does not hit for average this season. The bullpen situation is going to be very interesting this year in spring training. The left-handed role that used to be Javier Lopez's battle. You got two guys battling for that spot. You have Stephen O'Kurt, who right now I've got the inside edge, and then Josh Osage, who fell back to earth last season and still is having issues with his command. The setup man, I'm thinking Derek Law is going to win the setup role next to Mike Melanson. Will Smith could compete with Derek Law for it, but I expect Will Smith and Hunter Strickland to go to be the seventh inning role, depending on lefty and righty situations. And Bochy would love to have that tandem in the seventh inning next year. Another guy who's going to be a good middle reliever, George Contos, is a lock to make the bullpen. And then, of course, as I've said, I think Andrew Suarez is going to be your long man this year in the bullpen. And then David Hernandez, that's a guy who's likely going to start the season out in Sacramento. Could be your call-up guy when there's injuries to the bullpen this next season. Corey Guerin, that's another one who's going to be in middle relief situation. Could be relegated to low leverage situations, depending on how things go in the spring training. Guerin struggled mightily after his injury and never looked the same after his deadly start last season. The players in the minors to watch this season is going to be possibly Clayton Blackburn. Can he get his stuff together and be maybe that sixth or seventh guy in the Giants call-up rotation next year? Ty Beede, he's going to be another one that's going to be in AAA this season. Can he get it? Can he survive the hitter-friendly Pacific Coast League? Christian Arroyo, of course, he's going to be a guy to watch. Can he run Eduardo Nunez out of town? And then who knows what's going to happen this year? It's Matt Cain. If Matt Cain struggles early here and he has another bad year, do maybe the Giants consider moving on from Cain mid-season, just buying out the rest of it, eat the rest of his contract? This is going to be prove-it time for Matt Cain. Can he be that reliable fifth starter this year? Or do the Giants move on to him before the end of the season? That's going to be a really interesting question. Well, you guys have a good night, and be back soon. Hopefully next week we'll figure out what to do next week. But I'm thinking we'll do something about some of the rule changes coming up next week. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Don't forget to join us on Google Chat. Bye-bye.